Empire at War, the director of maybe my favorite Star Wars video game ever. It just came out in a Reddit leak, and I'm going to give credit again. Star Wars News Net broke down what happened here. Did you guys play Empire at War by chance when you guys were growing up? This was like 2006.
Yeah, a couple times, yeah. But it was just like it was almost kind of like a copy and paste of Age of Empire, but still enjoyable.
Well, yeah, kind of. Not necessarily. And we can get into that in a second.
Yeah.
What we're learning is the director of Empire at War and then the sequel, Forces of Corruption, reached out to EA and was like, hey, you guys had the license since 2023 or like till 2023. Why don't we do a re-release of the games, update the graphics, and then do a sequel?
Like that's really popular right now. Blizzard, Activision has been really, really pushing this Warcraft Reforged and their StarCraft Reforged, and it's been very, very popular with their fan base. I mean, I'm gonna buy it again, and I've already bought the game before, so I think this is gonna be very, very good if they decide to take this route.
Well, and I like Empire at War is probably my favorite, second maybe to the original Battlegrounds, because I thought Star Wars Battlegrounds was a really fun game. That was the same engine as Age of Empires 2.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I guess you can make the argument that Empire at War maybe was that Age of Empires 3, but I see the similarities, but they are different, especially in the gameplay, especially when you get to like the space component of Empire at War. It was a great storyline. And it was proof that you could have Vader voiced by someone else other than James Earl Jones, and it would be really good. But here's my thing. When we talk so much about EA and the tension that exists right now between the fan base, we talk about it all the time. 2 games out since they got the contract, 2 games canceled since they got the contract, and all the focus is on Jedi Fallen Order. When we get to Star Wars Celebration, we have high expectations because basically the fans are banking and EA is banking that this game will go over so well.
You mentioned, it's really, a lot of tension going on with EA. Reportedly, they just laid off 350 people. That's kind of been going on in a lot of different, in the industry and everything. Blizzard, laid off 700. When you come back to EA, though, the fact that they really haven't released that many Star Wars games, Battlefront 2015, Battlefront 2017, Galaxy of Heroes, and then, they canceled multiple projects. And now, yes, this one's coming, and it's going to be featured at Celebration. But I have questions, though, because it's like, are we going to get, exactly, are we going to get another game? I mean, you guys have the license rights, but at the same time, though, they're just constantly under mass scrutiny and criticism. I mean, Anthem right now is under heavy.
And we've talked about that on previous episodes, but let's keep the focus right now on Empire at War, because how great would that be for the fans at Star Wars Celebration, watching on the live stream, fans in general, if they came out at the end of that and was like, hey, by the way, here's this other game. It's a sequel to Empire at War. I mean, I think that could go a long way, because now my perception as not an avid gamer is that the Battlefront games, those cater more to the platform gamer, okay, not necessarily the PC gamer. This RTS revival would be incredible, and it would, I think, get a lot of fans back on board, really excited for gaming, because now the emphasis, because I think you can make the argument the emphasis for EA right now is mobile gaming. I mean, there's more mobile video games than
cell phone, don't you?
Anything else. It's ridiculous. This could be really inspiring for me, also because think of all the new. What if the sequel was actually like a throwback, and it was like Phantom Menace, like the prequel era, and you can play with the Trade Federation, you can play with the Separatists, you can play with the clones, or what if you take this and they go further in the future and they visit that Chuck Wendig Aftermath spot where it's like just after Return of the Jedi, you have these dark figures looking for Sith relics. You have the Rebel Resistance and the New Republic kind of figuring itself out. You have this rising threat of the First Order. Like, you could play with that a lot, and it could be really enjoyable with this game style.
Well, my concern with this is I played it. I didn't play a lot of it. David, you play a lot of StarCraft.
I'm a big fan of RTS games, and there are not
in
many
comparison
modern ones out
to
there.
game mechanics of what you recall from Empire at War to StarCraft. I mean, I've played StarCraft. It's fairly smooth and easy to understand.
Very well balanced, which is where I feel some of these Star Wars RTS games were not overly balanced in the past.
And
Both Empire at War and Galactic.
And that's what raises
Battlegrounds.
my concern, because the whole thing now is competitive gaming, and like in Korea and everything, there are professional StarCraft players, and like I swear to you, they're like on par with your Major League Baseball teams.
Mm-hmm.
They're making just as much money as our pro sports players are. So it's just one of those things. It'd be great, yes, to see like an HD remake, but I don't know like how far it would go though. Like I'm not going to pay, big dollars for a remake of a game. And it's just how well is it received, by the fan base? Was there actually a large fan base for this game to begin with? And those are some of the statistics and numbers I'd like to see.
So I guess when I'm looking at this game, because the original was definitely Empire versus Rebels, and then the Forces of Corruption sequel was kind of like piratey in a way. Ideal, before we let this go, if this were to happen, if EA was to come back and be like, listen, we watched Beyond the Blast Doors this week, and they had a very intriguing conversation about the value of us giving back to the fans, doing a sequel to your game, giving folks a PC video game that would revolutionize the PC gaming experience, and we think it's Empire at War. Okay, what faction would you want to play as the most, and why would that be appealing to the mass consumer?
Well, my answer on that.
So I would be down for the Mandalorians. That would be sweet.
Yeah, it'd be a great faction to play with. But
the ships. There's different kinds of armor. There's different types of weapons. There's enough to where it'd be fun and upgradable.
I guess since the Hutt cartel, I mean, they kind of had an army kind of going there. That might be interesting to see too.
I mean, I'm always going to say the Empire because the Empire did nothing wrong. However, if I were to pick something that's not one of the main factions, I really enjoyed in Galactic Battlegrounds playing as the Gungans. I just thought their artwork was really cool, and how they designed their buildings and
everything. The wall design was really cool. I do wish like it had more of like the plasma aesthetic that we saw so much in the movie, like the Gungan City. There are some,
but not enough.
Not enough.
Yeah.
But you know what? For a game of the time, Battlegrounds was just so phenomenal.
Oh yeah, for sure.
We got Pete in the live chat right now. We're
Okay.
going to talk to him in a few minutes. But in regards to Jesse saying the Mandalorians, he says, shocking, LOL. So, Jesse, good to see you're consistent. Thanks for that.
I like to stay consistent.
If you're a fan of Empire at War, you're excited by this conversation, you wish that EA would listen to the director of Empire at War and do a sequel. Let us know what you think about that in the live chat or the comments down below if you're watching on the Rewind, David.
Thank you for watching Beyond the Blast Doors. Be sure to subscribe to our channel. Don't forget, give us a thumbs up and leave a comment. Beyond the Blast Doors, a Star Wars conversation.